Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today I'm going to be sharing 7 of my favorite oracle decks. Now, as you know, I'm Cosmic Crow Tarot, and when it comes to the two different decks, the tarot and the oracle, I actually prefer tarot because I love the structure of it. I love the fact that there's 78 meanings, and they all mean about the same thing, but with the different illustrations and everything, it gives you more to build on. But oracle decks are a little bit different. They're the idea that the creator came up with, the illustrator and the one that writes the guidebook and everything. It's what they came up with and the beautiful illustrations that go with it. You can read the guidebook or you don't have to, and you can just trust your own intuition with it. Up first, I'm going to share with you probably my favorite oracle deck because it's the one I work with the most. Like when I'm doing live readings or even any readings I do like online, remotely and stuff like that, I always like to share an oracle deck. And this is the one that I like the best. For one, just look at the box. Look how beautiful that dragonfly is. This I definitely want as a tattoo sometime, but I can't figure out exactly where I want it. But the colors and everything just on the dragonfly card, they're incredible. Now we're going to open the box. I'm going to show you the different cards in it. This is a big deck, so it's really fun when I do live readings and stuff, and I tell them to shuffle the tarot. They do that, and then when they get done with that, we move to the oracle cards, and I'm like, now shuffle this, because look how big the cards are. Like my hands can barely even get around them, let alone shuffle them like I'm supposed to, or anybody else can, unless you got these really, really long fingers, which, you'd have the advantage with this deck. But this is what the backs look like. And what I love about this deck is the fact that you've got these illustrations. Like there's the dragonfly. We'll just go with that one. I noticed I picked it up upside down, so we're just going to turn those around. And the dragonfly right here, we have the word dragonfly with magic. And there's a little message right here too, that the client or whoever you're reading for or reading for yourself can just go right here with. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. So that is like an affirmation that you can use to make the best of your life. And that illustration can inspire you too. If you're like me, it can inspire a really, really, really pretty tattoo, or any of these can. But that's just the message on the card. So you can tell people if you're reading with this deck, as they read that, pull the animal, draw the, whatever animal calls to you, that's the one to connect with. And then when you see these animals around the world, like in your everyday life, you'd be like, that was the card for me. That's the message that they have. Now, as they're looking at that illustration and appreciating everything, then you can move to the guidebook. The guidebook has even more information in it than the cards actually have. And we're going to go through here until I find dragonfly. Shouldn't be that far. Look, like there's dragon. You have dragonfly right here, and there's all this information, and even the contrary. Like if you pull this card upside down, here's questions that you can ask yourself to turn it upright and get that right mindset. Are you stuck in the swamp of the past? Rise above it. Are you disconnected from the brilliance of your inner light? Look within. Be reminded life is too short to be anything but happy, and drop your burdens, let go, and fly. So if you need more help with this card, and if you need those questions to ask yourself, they're right there in the guidebook. Like everything that you need is right here in this deck, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Just look at the peacock right there, and the white stag. Some of them are reversed. Fox and clever. The grizzly bear with power. Here you have the turtle, sea turtle with protection. You get the idea. I mean, this is going to be a really, really long video if I show you every card in every deck. But you get the beauty of this deck. And I see half of them are upright and half are reversed. But that's because I literally use this deck all the time. And the way that I do my readings, I let the people getting the reading work with the cards to get their energy into it. So, when they get put back in, they might be backwards. But you see how beautiful each and every one of these illustrations are. And that's what makes it so beautiful. And each of the characters on there, if you live in Alaska or someplace cold, you might see that humpback whale, and it might inspire you to sing the song of your own truth. Everybody, everywhere you go, there's a cat. So the cat is right there as your spirit animal too. The sea otters, the cougar, which takes on many different terms. Like here in West Virginia, we do have cougars, but I think we call them mountain lions more than anything else. Pumas, panthers, all of that is a cougar. You got the dog. Everybody loves dogs, right? And then we've got the black jaguar, which is another beautiful cat. Dragons, I don't think we're actually going to see dragons in life, but Who knows? There's some of those lizards that look just like dragons. And then, reading books and stuff. There's a book series out called Zodiac Academy. Such a good book series. I've been reading that since August, all the different stories and everything in it. But that supernatural aspect, that's kind of reminding us to believe in that. You are ancient, the ancient, wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny, and rise with dignity. So that's like the supernatural aspect. And then we get back to the normal animals of ladybug and snow leopard and lizard. Like, you get the idea. There's the raccoons, the squirrel. Squirrels are everywhere, right? They're preparing for winter. They're getting those nuts. The elephant, the raven. Of course, the raven. We've got to go with the raven. I love that card. The horse and freedom. The owl and magic. Giraffe. And then this one's really fun, this illustration, because it says it's up to you. It's the personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. So that says pick whatever animal you want. And we're just going to go right through and kind of, I'll show you like the different illustrations really fast, because like I said, I've got a lot here. There's the unicorn, so it's kind of like the dragon. We might not see them, but they're always part of us, and we believe in that magic and the infinite possibilities. Penguin, the hawk is the messenger. The pronghorn, I don't know what a pronghorn is, but it kind of looks like a gazelle. He's the take action. So take action and learn about the pronghorn. Black bear, we've got lion right there. Every time I go to turn around the cards, it's like they're the other way. But there's the frog and prosperity, the orca whale, the coyote, the bee, and the community. That one comes up a lot when I do readings with people. The bee does. And it reminds us all that we're humanity and we're all working to something. But in the Star Trek universe, the Borg, that was the hive. We're not exactly like that. We're not assimilated. So the community just says be there with everyone. Be there, for the community. The ram, perseverance. The tiger with fire, deer is love, and the butterfly is rebirth. So that is that beautiful, beautiful spirit of the animal oracle. I will put all of these down in the description below, and if I can, I'll put the description or the links to where you can purchase them. But Spirit of the Animals, like, go on Amazon, you'll find that deck right there. Like I said, the guidebook's really, really well done. And there's one more thing in this box that it comes in that you can check out really fast. I'm not going to unfold it. Well, I guess I have to unfold it all the way to show you if I can. I rarely get this out, but what it is a spread, like a tarot spread or an oracle spread in this case, so that you can draw all the cards for the different messages. And I'll just show you right here, like there is north, and you have all those messages right there. So if you ever wanted a reading with just this deck, feel free to comment on this video or message me on either of the socials, and I can totally do that for you. And we'll use that spread right there. I'm going to set these back in the box now that I've unfolded that doesn't want to sit correctly, but we're good. The box still goes closed. Who should I show you next? Okay, we went with beauty, right? So I feel like the opposite of that would definitely be the next one to show. So I'm going to show you the Dark Mirror Oracle. Now, this is a rather creepy deck, and it's absolutely spectacular for shadow work because it's making us face our darkness, the things that bother us. Now, the guidebook is a little bit different and a little bit weird. Like, it's translated into English from another language, I think, because some of the sentences don't make a whole lot of sense. But the illustrations here, this deck is amazing. I found it on Amazon a couple years ago, like when I first started getting into tarot, so it's probably been like 5 or 6 years now. But I loved it because of the reviews that it had. They were so dark, so negative. I remember one saying that they didn't even want to keep this deck with the rest of their decks because they're afraid it would get all dark and negative too. So of course, when I read that, I was like, ooh, definitely want this deck. And here it is. So the different illustrations here, like you can see that one's Parasite, that one's Blinded to Pain, Today for Tomorrow, Ride in a Cage. Like, you see how dark these illustrations are. They're still beautiful, but they're creepy, and they remind us that, we have to face this darkness within us. Like, why are we blinding ourselves to the things we need to feel? Why are we giving away our energy for today, like not enjoying today because we're so focused on tomorrow? And how does life cause us to feel like we're in a cage? Do we become so focused on someone else that we can't really find our own truth? And Parasite, humanity kind of is a parasite, but that's a story for a different time. Hiding your true self, that's another one. Like, it's just telling you how beautiful is that illustration. And it just shows if we're afraid to be our true selves, then we're hiding it from the world and not showing what we're truly capable of. And each one has a number, each one has a moon phase, so there's a lot here. Addicted, in that illustration, majorly 10 of swords to me, with all those swords in the back and everything. They look like they're kind of protruding out the front though. So it kind of like, are we addicted to the pain? Are we addicted to the sadness? There's a lot of songs out there that relate to that. So that's something I'd say we can all feel. Gilded regret, artificial heart, forgetting oneself, atonement, peaceful among thorns, anger and chains. That one's kind of very interesting. Like the illustrations here, they give you a lot to think about as you kind of like stare at them and learn from them. That 2-9 there, that 29, that relates to 11 too. So like, are you not being fair to yourself because you're chained by all the anger? I won't cry for you is one of the cards, and it's 22, like have compassion, but don't just hold on to the pain and focus on the people that hurt you. Fragmentation, Queen of my world, we've got downcast pride there. Calling the storm, like that's embracing your power, creating your power with that 3 and 0. 25 is fated to suffer. Now that's a card that definitely a lot of us can probably relate to. You know, when things don't go our way, we think things are not going to, they're going to continue not going our way. So we're focused on that, you know, nothing's ever going to go in my favor. And that's working completely against the law of attraction, because you're telling the universe, hey, I like to be miserable. I am fated to suffer. Thinking that way is just telling the universe you want more of that. Obsession, that is 3. I've got one reversed in there. Black flower fragrance. So some of them take more time to like think about. You clearly got the full moon and everything there. So it's like, are you just smelling the darkness, or you need to let it go? There's cards, like I said, are very, very, very dark. But that darkness is what we need to face. Now this one's a little bit damaged. I don't know if you can tell that right there on the illustration, but I was doing shadow work in the car at night. Don't do that. Don't do shadow work in the car, like ever. Don't get your cards out in the car very often unless you're really, really careful, because one might fall down between the seats, get stepped on for days, and you might not even know that it's missing until you happen to find it underneath your car seat. So that's what happened to that one. But it's always a reminder to me, and I keep this one like this, and I haven't replaced the deck yet, because it reminds me that I am true to who I am. I'm not hiding who I am. That 4, who I am, is my strong foundation. So this little damaged card reminds me that the damage inside of me makes me who I am. Sacrifice, like none of the other cards are messed up. It's just that one. So I've just kind of lived with it. But there's Triumph of Lies. That's the illustration on the front of the box in the guidebook. There's Revenge, and it's still a beautiful card despite the fact that it's revenge. Colorless Angel, Perchance to Dream, Alone in the World, you know, just that beauty. It reminds me of an illustration, I think of the Star card that I've seen before, when all hope is lost, and you know, you've only got yourself and your hidden talents and everything, and that kind of reminds me of that. And then we've got Envious Gluttony right there, and gluttony is definitely something that we all experience. That's one of the seven sins or something like that, with like pride and gluttony and all that. Now for the guidebook. Like I said, the guidebook is a little bit difficult to maneuver or to understand at times, but there's a lot of information here. Like just Addicted right there has the visual seed, the moon phase, the waxing crescent, that's what moon phase it is. The stage of life is the depression, and you think about the like stages of sadness. Like this one is depression, that one is bargain. So it's the different stages of grief. That's the word I was looking for. And you've got the visual seed right there. You've got the sentence and the going dark. That's when things get a little bit difficult to understand, but it is easy to understand, like if you just take the time. Addiction to something, to drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to make simple everything that can be deep. Oh, they have in common the feeling of being lost if we are ever without it. Freedom is not a friend, as it promises responsibility, failure, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So, how can it be that easy to believe that freedom is an illusion? And it's so hard to feel that slavery is an illusion as well. That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all awe, when we lose the desire, much before losing the will to fight, is that actually is possible to reach the sky even when bound by chains. So there's a lot of information there. And the more you think about it, the more, it starts to make sense to you, and the more you can face it and overcome it. We find addiction here in the cards, if I can. It's of course, that's the one I can't find, right? Addicted. There we go. That was the one we were talking about, and you got the moon phase and everything right there, what they call it. The waxing crescent, I believe, or the waning crescent maybe. But you see all those swords and everything, and the face looking forward but looking down like you're scared of the future. So the illustrations alone can give you a lot of information. Those numbers, I feel, can give you a lot of information too, because me and tarot, it corresponds to justice or strength of the major arcana, depending on who we ask. See, we have to be fair to ourselves. We have to find that strength to face the pain, and that's why Dark Mirror Oracle is one of my favorite oracle decks of all time, because it asks us to face that darkness, and the illustrations just make us face those shadows within and help us become our best selves. So we're going to set this one down, and who am I going to share with you now? Let's go with... Okay, we'll go with this one because it kind of when I moved it, it went. But it's the Urban Crow Oracle by MJ Cullinane, who is also the one that created the Crow Tarot and has a bunch of indie decks out there. She loves crows probably as much as I do. They're such awesome creatures. And that's what this deck is. It's a combination. I actually have them all in the same box. But this is both the original Urban Crow Oracle and then I think it's the Urban Crow redo or something like that, where she added more cards to it. So there's a lot more cards here than the original. But the illustrations, there's no numbers or anything. They have guidebooks. Let me see. Yes. There's guidebooks for each of them. You've got the Urban Crow guidebook, which is the original, and the Urban Crow expansion, that's what it's called. But there's not a lot of information in these. You can see how thin they are there. But the illustrations themselves, they can give you a lot of information. So we're going to run through the illustrations, try it kind of quickly, I guess. But you've got stability there, and the illustrations alone. This deck is just absolutely gorgeous. If you love crows, this is definitely a deck I would recommend because the illustrations are just awesome. I don't like that one. You can see, obviously. There's nobody even driving the car, so how it's supposed to stop with the crow. But beside the point, there's betrayal, adventure, you've got the different messages there, you can trust your intuition on them again. And that's the thing about an oracle deck, it's not structured. You can come up with whatever meaning you want. So the different illustrations here just remind you to trust your own inner voice as you look at them and appreciate crows more, because crows are freaking awesome. I've got the ones that live around me. There were 6, now there's 10, so it's definitely working in my favor. They're not scared of me at all anymore. I'll open my window and they'll be out in the field eating and stuff, and I'll just say hi to them and they'll all fly closer to me okay, we call me Numb Lady. That's how I say it. My husband says it too because it's funny. I'll walk outside and they'll all start calling at me, getting excited, and then they'll sit in the trees as I take them their food and stuff. So definitely recommend just feeding the crows, getting to know your local crow population, because they are such amazing creatures, and this deck brings homage to them, brings the beauty of them to life for us. Even if you don't have crows around you, you can appreciate the crows in this deck, and that's why it's definitely one of my favorites. It's not one that I work with as much as the other ones, because I said, the guidebooks aren't that great. So when you're sitting there with someone and a cross, you're trying to write it out, stuff might not come to you as fast, but it can. That one, gifts. Appreciate the gifts that you have in your life, and more gifts will come to you. Crows supposedly bring you gifts when you feed them. Mine do not do that often, but the fact that they talk to me, they're not scared of me, and they make weird noises just when they see me, that's enough gratitude for me, and that's a gift for me. There's communication, wrath. I call that the crowpocalypse. We've got that in a local town. Once it starts getting cold this time of year in November, they'll thousands, and I'm not kidding, it's thousands and thousands of crows just cover the skies. It's incredible. There's insight, play, protection, commitment, waterproof, preparation, warning, trickery, self-interest, anomaly. There's the beautiful, rare, very, very rare white raven or white crow, because this is a crow oracle. They actually are killed by their, usually abused and killed by their fellow crows because they don't match, which is just devastating because they're such beautiful creatures. There's risk and trap. See, you've got words, you've got illustrations and everything. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful Oracle deck. If it is available, I'm not 100% on that. I will leave that link in the description below too if I can. You know, you're only allowed so many words in the description below. So I don't know if I'll have the space to do it, but crowtarot.com, contact MJ Collinane. If she has any copies of this deck, then she'll definitely let you purchase it. And it's such, like, if you love crows, hands down one of the most beautiful decks known to man, because she's such a fantastic artist. Just look at the tree. Look at the tree going down and the community, everything, becoming one with nature. It's gorgeous. That illustration and the houses and everything in the back, and curiosity, stepping out of what you know and beginning to be curious about things of the unknown. Upheaval, distance, release, letting go of the past, letting what needs to die, soar, resistance, and then of course I have one that is upside down, trust. And this is where I hope to get one day, that peanut. Also, things that crows like, they love peanuts. My crows, I'll see them, like, I'll put, since I know there's 10 of them now, I'll put 5 peanuts in a little saucer. It's that thing that you put, like a terracotta, that you put plants, like underneath plants to catch the water. That's what I feed them in, because they're kind of heavy, and they recognize them now. They know where they are, and it's really cute, because even when it rains and stuff, they'll usually flip it over so the inside of it doesn't get wet. That's just such a unique and intelligent thing to do. I didn't know they could do that. But that peanut right there, they really do like peanuts. Get unsalted, unroasted ones. I guess you could get unsalted roasted and it would be okay, but don't get the ones with salt on them, because supposedly salt isn't good for crows, and don't take that chance. I give them fruit a lot too. I call them my crowberries, and I'll get like frozen fruit, and I'll thaw it out and everything, and like blackberries and stuff. They really like those. They're not that huge of a fan of oranges, but I've tried that, and they don't seem to like the apples very much either. But that Cheerios, they love Cheerios too, and cat food. They love cat food. You can get cat food for pretty cheap, and they just really love that too. But make sure your dog doesn't know about where you're putting it, because he'll go, or he or she will probably go eat it when you're not looking. But that is the Urban Crow Oracle and Expansion Pack. Like I said, it's a little bit too big. You can see kind of right there, it doesn't all fit in the box. But you can keep the lid on it and everything. If you're going to take it with you, put something around it so it doesn't fall apart, or doesn't come apart and the cards get out. But that is the Urban Crow Oracle and Expansion Pack. Definitely one of my favorite. It's such a beautiful deck. What are we going to move on to now? We'll do the Wisdom of the Oracle. Now, this is one of the most beautiful and highly detailed oracles in my collection, and one available here. And it says a 52 card deck and guidebook, so it's got everything you need in here. Like, look how thick the box is. There is a lot in here, a lot. 52 cards. That's like a playing card deck. And you've got all the cards right there, and you've got this guidebook. Now look how thick that guidebook is. And what's really cool about it, I'm just going to flip to a random page, is right here. Let's find the first page of it. Like there, time for a nap. So if you're sleepy and you're watching this in the middle of the night, because you know the videos go live at midnight on Saturdays, midnight Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, because I know you guys are all around the world. Actually, out of curiosity, I'd love to know if you want to put this in the comments below and everything, because you've been watching this and you're really interested and you want to let me know. Then let me know where you're from. Like, I'm in West Virginia, so I'm in Eastern Standard Time. But I know I have subscribers and followers everywhere, like all around the world, and it's fascinating to me. So if you want to let me know what country you reside in, that would be awesome. Okay, time for a nap. You've got that information there. You've got the essential meanings, which are just like keywords. The Oracle's message is right there, so that's like the specific one. If it relates to relationship, you've got that right there. The prosperity, you've got that for the money aspect. And protection message is right there, and then that one goes all the way to the next page to the other. So you've got many different meanings here, plus the numbers. There's numbers on each of the cards right there, so that can give you more information. The illustration itself and the words, like especially the illustrations of this deck. I didn't even show you that yet. It's like, check out the guidebook, but you're here to see the illustrations. There is the back of the book, or back of the cards, and that's a beautiful, beautiful illustration there. That's like infinity and life creation and all that. So that's a really cool aspect. But there's chaos and conflict, new life. Like, the illustrations in this deck are just absolutely gorgeous. Like the artwork and everything, wow, just incredible. Colette Baron Reed is the one that created this deck. You can see her name right there on the guidebook. Like, she is such an incredible artist and so intuitive. Like, her decks and her messages and everything. There's just nothing quite like them. And you see all these different illustrations here and how absolutely gorgeous that they are. I can't get enough of this. I didn't even know this deck existed. And I entered a contest on Instagram. I can't remember exactly who. Something Catalyst, that is the Instagram name, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But she had a giveaway, and this is the deck that I won. She had 4 or 5 decks that she was giving away, and I actually won it. So I was extremely ecstatic about this. This is one of the decks, it's like the Spirit of the Animal Oracle. I use it a lot because of the illustrations and the messages and everything that it shares. Like that one, kind of dark, but it reminds you, like, even of the darkness, you can regenerate yourself, learn from it. Judgment energy right there. That 4 and 6, that's 10. So it reminds you, kind of like Judgment, you had to forgive the past so you can spin the wheel and begin the next chapter. See yourself as that strong foundation because you've reflected on the past. See, we don't even necessarily need the guidebook, but it's there if we want to use it. Deep knowing there, breathe. That illustration is gorgeous. Not for you, that fortune cookie in the middle, kind of going like Pac-Man to eat those pieces or chess pieces. There's flexible, yin. I wonder if there's a yang too. We might have already passed it. Never-ending story, orphans, beautiful illustrations. Like every single one of these cards are absolutely gorgeous. Between worlds, like I love the darkness there, like the black and white almost, and then the bright colors. Wizard of Oz, kind of like the first Wizard of Oz, where it was all, sepia until she got to Oz. There's Go the Distance, Message in a Bottle. That is like the blues and everything in this deck are just incredible. Again, I will put a link in the description below of where you can purchase this if I am able to. I can probably stop repeating that now, huh? Time for a nap. That's what we talked about, huh? And, we're reiterating that whole time for a nap. That's 6, 2, 4, 6. Have compassion. See yourself as that strong foundation and take the time to have a nap because you love yourself. Co-create, higher power, and why. Why am I showing you all these decks? Because I show you tarot all the time, and I thought it'd be cool to show you oracle decks for once. But this is definitely one that I would recommend. It's absolutely beautiful, and if you know diddly squat about tarot or oracle and anything, then still I recommend this deck because the guidebook that comes with it can give you as much information as you need, and the more you work with it, the more you can trust your intuition and trust yourself to see what the cards mean for you. So that is the wisdom of the oracle. I see there I have it backwards. Oh, well, we'll just go with it because that's upside down. But moving on. Now, this one, I can't do a video about oracle decks and stuff, and I can't probably do a favorite video of anything without sharing something from Patrick Valencia and Deviant Moon Incorporated. And that's where we have Felix Nacht's, am I pronouncing that correctly? Gallery of Hallucinations Oracle. And this is the, recently, like I just got this deck a couple weeks ago. So the unboxing of this video is available if you want to look at that. But we're just going to go through the deck really quickly, and I'm going to explain to you why I picked this deck as one of my favorites. It's the illustrations. The illustrations are absolutely incredible. They're not in order or anything anymore because I've obviously worked with it a lot. Like, I want to draw cards with it. I want to share it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, it comes with this right here, and it's got like the title card and everything, and it has the website and stuff where you can purchase it. I think there's still some available. It's not out of print yet, but this one actually comes with a real physical guidebook. So you've got that right there with the illustrations and everything, and the different like sketches and stuff too, because supposedly the story behind it, you see that man right there. That is Felix Nacht. So supposedly Patrick Valencia didn't actually create the illustrations. He brought it back to life. He restored it and everything. So it's got his touch on it, but it actually came from Felix Nacht. And I think it was like the 1920s, because that's what the illustrations kind of show me. So we're going to go through it and show you the different illustrations, like the stranger, the mingling. I said miggling. What is miggling? I think I just made up a word. The affair is right there. Like they're kind of dark, but they're absolutely gorgeous, and I just love this deck. And you've got the different numbers up there to help you like correspond it to the tarot and see the different messages like numerology wise, but just everything about this. Like you see her running there making a choice. That is like trusting her intuition as she moves forward. That is 2. Like 36 right there. 36 would be the Hermit of the Major Arcana. You're combining the Empress with the Lovers. So you have that energy of like learning, moving forward, having moved away from the past because you learned the lessons of the past. But just all of these illustrations are just absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing like it. You know me. I love Patrick Valencia's work. And apparently I love Felix Nacht's works too, because I think this might be the most beautiful Oracle deck I've ever seen. Perhaps one of like the top 10 most beautiful decks I've ever seen. The cards don't really want to participate in my nice little pile here, and I have to keep fixing it. But you've got all of these beautiful, beautiful illustrations, and you have that guidebook right there to help you know the meanings without just staring at the cards and trusting your intuition if you don't want to. But the Oracle decks, tarot as well, they don't necessarily need the guidebook. It's always important to like reflect on the guidebook or learn from it, because that's what the artist behind the deck was thinking when they created it. So the words are their words about the illustrations. But these decks exist, both tarot and oracle, for us to trust our own intuitions, to get that insight from within. The pictures are just there to help us on the journey. Like the guidebooks, are there just to help us on the journey, but it's best to trust our inner voices. This deck, like as I go through it, like I'm reminded how beautiful it is. And like I said, there is an unboxing video of this deck that I get way more into and way more detailed that you can check out, because these are just like flip throughs of the deck, so you can see all the illustrations really quickly. If I actually edited my videos, then I could probably like do, the fast forward and you could see it really fast. But hey, you're here to see the illustrations. You're here to get ideas of what to get yourself for Christmas, or perhaps your birthday is coming up, or you just want something, or you want an idea for someone else. Now, if you know somebody that loves the work of Patrick Valencia and Deviant Moon, this could be the deck for you to get for someone. Now, like the Wisdom of the Oracle, if you just know somebody that loves beautiful artwork and stuff and loves oracle decks, then that might be one you consider, because we know not everybody really loves tarot all that much and they prefer oracle, so this gives you that option. And like I said, I love adding them to my tarot readings. Like every reading that you get from me, it's not just going to be a tarot reading, there's going to be oracle cards in there too. And it's always fascinating to me just how well the oracle cards connect with the tarot. Like we can get through the entire reading and these cards, like there's just the tarot's like sitting there ready for whatever I want to add to it. You pull out the oracle decks, and the words with the oracle decks, even with the guidebook, relate almost exactly to the message that came from the tarot. And it's just fascinating to me. Like they go so well, like they go hand in hand, but they're so different from one another. Now the box, I'm not that much of a fan of. I've already bent it a little bit, which kind of sucks, just trying to get it open. And a lot of times people will go and get 2 copies of a deck, like especially the collector decks, so they have one they never open and then they have the one they enjoy. I don't have the money for something like that, so it's just I enjoy, and I definitely do. The decks themselves are always in really good quality, unless you do what I do and do the shadow work in the car. Like I said, don't do that. But unless you do that, like you can usually keep the cards really, really safe. Now another deck I want to show you, it doesn't even have a box at all. This deck is the Elizabeth on Earth Oracle, and I've showed it to you a couple times. There's a lot of cards here because I have both versions of it. I have the original cards that someone gave to me because, well, they're just awesome. Wise Owl Tarot, shout out to you because you're amazing and I love you. She sent it to me first, or I had no idea that this even existed. But then I purchased the second version, which adds more cards to it. So that's why I have 2 little things right here, like 2 little illustrations. But there's a lot of cards here. And like I said, it doesn't come with a guidebook, it doesn't come with a number, and it doesn't come with a box. So this is definitely a unique deck that is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful illustrations. I'm going to try to do this a little bit quickly because there's a lot of cards here. And I know, like I said, I've got different videos out there if you want to look for them. They're all on my channel that show all the different illustrations in here. But the photography and everything and the editing that she did, the artwork of this deck is just downright beautiful. There is nothing quite like it. I love these illustrations, some more than others. I say that because like this illustration, I'd say this is probably my favorite. The Watchers, reminding us that we're not alone. Even if we don't see them, the ones that have come before us, they're always there, part of us. They're always there just sharing their light with us. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful illustration in that one. There's little earthling. shine. This is the message of like the guidebook, not really the guidebook, but like the information about the deck right there. I've got that mixed in too. Elizabeth on Earth cards are for your personal reflection, to be used in perfect love and perfect trust. Know that all the answers you seek already exist within you. The cards only help you to discover what is hidden beneath the conscious surface. Art may take on a different meaning from one viewing to the next. Expand your awareness, open your heart, embrace abundance, practice joy and gratitude, love yourself, be honest with yourself, and write your own beautiful story. Use these cards widely as guides, not gospel, and empower yourself to be the sole creator of your own life. Yes, yes, yes. Like, that's such a good message, and it just inspires you to go after this like deck and after these cards and just be yourself and write your own story. Like, this deck could inspire you to write something every day and give you the inspiration and empowerment you need to make your life exactly what you want it to be. There is no deck, I think, that is quite like this in the world. Like I said, Elizabeth on Earth Oracle, there on the bottom of the card, I don't know if you can see that or not, is elizabethonearth.com. That's where you can purchase this deck. I believe she's on Instagram, I know that, and I believe she has an Etsy account too. And then there's another card inside of there. It probably goes the other one. Yeah, it's the same card, but like I said, I've got two different decks mixed in here. And there's the Elizabeth on Earth Self-Reflection deck cards. So I'm going to set those aside so I can get them back on top. Back to the beautiful illustrations that is this deck, because it's like real life mixed with like fantasy. So it's awesome. Like, there's, like I said, nothing quite like it. That's one of the little cards that she had, so I guess that's one of her favorites, and it's a safe place to land. So just be yourself and be comfortable where you are, like feel safe in your world. Procession, lesson, counting crows. Like I said earlier, I've done that. I had 6 and now I have 10. So maybe I'll get to the point that I'll have those thousands and thousands and thousands of crows that I talked about that is in the local town in fall and winter. Like, that would be freaking awesome. There is Rising, End of Earth, a thing that says 15% off. That was from May 1st to May 1st to 2024, so that is not relevant anymore, and I should throw it away, but I don't want to. So there's Star Polish, Sea Spirit, Ocean to Fly, that's what that says. But we've got all those different illustrations. A lot of them are like one beautiful girl as she goes through life. So it reminds you, like, you're the girl, you're the one creating the story. You're the dude, you're creating your story. Like, our lives are what we choose to create. We write our own stories. We face our darkness. We face our emotions. We create something in the fog. Like, we can't see it necessarily, but the more we look at it, the more we focus on it, the more we can create it, because it's foggy there, but then welcome home. There's the open potential and possibilities that just await us when we begin believing we can write our own stories. So this is, again, one of the most beautiful, beautiful oracle decks I've ever seen in my life. It's definitely one of the most beautiful ones in my collection. I'm not just showing you the beautiful ones in my collection, though. I'm showing you the ones that are useful, too. I mean, I did title this my top 7 favorite oracle decks, so you're definitely seeing my favorite oracle decks, and if you like them too, they're available. As far as I know, they are all available for purchase if you want to purchase them for yourself or purchase them as a gift for somebody else. They just keep sliding, don't they? But we're almost through, and then I won't make you watch me close it up. Actually, maybe I can do it fairly quickly. Beauty about my videos, I don't plan them. I just say this is what I'm gonna do, and then I do it. So you got this, like, here, like I said, there's no box or anything. You just have yarn and a cloth. So we kind of wrap it up like a diaper. At least that's how I do it. Tighten it so it like holds. Then pull this side up, pull it up. I don't make diapers. I don't have children, so maybe not the best at it as some other people. The yarn is not technically the yarn that you'll get with it. For some reason, my cat decided to ingest half of my yarn when I first got it, like the string that originally came on it. But luckily, at one point, I was really, really passionate about doing crochet. So I had a bunch of yarn like laying around that I don't do anymore. I think I actually forgot how to crochet. So there is a blanket like half done. There is a scarf that is half done. This is the burden and curse of a Sagittarius. If you like really want to try something, you don't have any problem trying it and beginning it. But then you find something else you want to do and you lose sight on it. Yeah, I'm not doing this as well as I should. Can't get it. There we go. Not exactly the clear, like, best way to do this, but hey, I'm doing it under a little plexiglass table and trying to do it quickly enough that you don't have to watch me do it, so I can show you the last deck in my collection. If you heard a weird noise there, I had to pause it really quickly because my dogs get like they get bored while I'm making the video, so they make a bunch of noise, and then like see like other members of the family come home and things like that, so they whine because they're so excited. So if you heard that, that's what that was. My dog Willow, she's little, she's cute. I call her a perma puppy because she permanently looks like a puppy. But they gave me the opportunity to do this a little more efficiently, so now it's like all safe and it's cloth. I probably should get a box for that, but this works. I don't take it out of the house. I don't take it to do readings and stuff like that. I'll do it, like, if you're interested in any of these decks, whether I take them like festivals and stuff like that or not, if you're interested in any of them and you want them part of your reading, then all you have to do is ask me and I'll absolutely make that happen for the remote ones. I guess if you want to meet me in person somewhere and do it, just be very, very careful with the decks. I will bring them with me and do that too. But for the masses, no, you don't get to play with my decks. Now, last but not least, certainly not least, none of these decks are in specific order. They're all favorites for different reasons. So they're like my top deck for this or my top deck for that. But this one is my top deck for reading runes because runes are difficult for me to memorize. To this day, I cannot memorize what they mean. I can do some of them, but for the most part, no. The runes and I are not exactly able to connect as much as tarot can. But these are the actual runes. You know, this is an oracle video, so I don't exactly need to show you the runes, but the runes are what I love the most. The runes are what I read with. The runes, with every single reading that I do, you get a rune stone. And you see all the runes and everything right here. These are lapis lazuli rune stones. I got them on Etsy a long time ago, but the different illustrations right there. There's Berkana. You can see that one right there. That's like half of the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth sign, I think, is Berkana and Hagalaz. I'm not good at pronunciation of these things, so don't come for me for the pronunciations. But you've got that illustration there, like the gold and everything with these. I love these runes. They're absolutely gorgeous. But I can't take these to festivals and stuff with me. I guess technically I could, but it's just, it doesn't look impressive if you can't be like, oh, well, this means this. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do it with hardly any of them. The Berkana, just because I drew it yesterday for one of my readings online, like, because I do daily readings on the socials every day. I did use that one, but so I looked up the meaning. I have that option, and so I know that one's about beginnings and stuff like that, beginnings and like birth of new life and new chapters of our stories. So that one I definitely can do, but it'll probably go out of my head at some point, which is why I can't use these by themselves. And I have the Runes for Modern Life Oracle with them. Now, every time I draw one of the runes from the runes, actual runes, I get one of these cards out. Because not only does it have this awesome guidebook that tells you how to pronounce things, tells you the meaning, and shares all the information in it, it has illustrations of each one too that bring them into modern life. Because runes are probably the oldest form, one of the oldest forms of divination in the world. I think it's up there with the I Ching, which I cannot get to either. I have books on studying the I Ching. I have an oracle deck on the I Ching, and I actually have the coins for the I Ching too. And yet, that's just something like maybe another time I can study that. It's just not as easy. But this makes the runes easy. Runes for Modern Life, like I showed you the guidebook and everything, and every single rune has an illustration that you can trust your intuition to like guide you on. Ingwa's right there, like love, relationships. They're facing your own truth with Iwa's, like strength and everything. With Yura's, facing having like this is what's the word I'm looking for? Having defenses up, even if you can't see things, you know it's there. Just having that face like of confidence, like to face the stuff that you have that you might not know about, having those defenses on yourself. Like every single one gives you like information you don't get from just the symbol there. Thuraz, that one is the thorn, and the thorn is like all the like things around life that aren't safe for you, so being protected to yourself. Like Fihu right there, Fihu's like finding that strength. I'm just making these up as I go because like I said, the guidebook is key with this deck. It's awesome, and of all the places in the world for me to pick this deck up, It was Spencer's. Spencer's Gifts in the local mall. Spencer's, who owns Spirit Halloween and now Spirit Christmas. I think they do, don't they? Like, yeah, Spirit Halloween became Spirit Christmas for Halloween or for Christmas, so that it was genius of them to share all those gifts and everything. Like I said, the guidebook. The guidebook gives you as much information as you could possibly want. Gabo right there. It's pronunciation Gey -bo, so it reminds us Gabo, generosity and opportunity. If this rune is drawn, the theme of giving and sharing is prominent. There may be a surprise gift arriving in your life soon, whether a material one or in the form of emotional support from others, or even the gift of discovering a hidden talent. The card urges you to appreciate the gifts for the blessing it is, but also indicates the need for you to shine a spotlight, which relates to that X right there, spotlight, shine the spotlight on the X. Where was I? I can't find it now. Oh yeah, but it indicates the need for you to shine a spotlight on the energy exchanges in your life right now, including personal relationships, partnerships, and contracts. Are you giving too much and receiving too little, or are you the one not investing enough in a situation? You are especially encouraged to ensure there is balance between giving and receiving in all of your relationships. It also wants you to take a close look at the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself, and to create a harmonious balance between being sensitive to the needs of others and taking care of your own. So all of that information is right here in the book, right here in the illustration of the symbols that are on the runes themselves with that X. That's all that is. Gabo is an X. So it kind of just gives us that extra information we need to make the best of the runes and to be able to share them. So that is the runes for Modern Life, Erical. And like I said, definitely one of my favorites and one that I highly recommend because yeah, if you can remember all the meanings of the runes in your head, I admire you. You are incredible because try. I just cannot. So I have this awesome deck to remind me of them. I think, yeah, that was all 7 of the decks I wanted to share with you today. And I hope you enjoyed seeing every single one because they're awesome. And like I said, if you want to purchase any of these decks, if they are available and I am able to do it, because if I have enough space in the description below, I will put a link to where you can purchase all of these. I'll at least put the names so you can search for them. And you know, if they're available and you want them, definitely recommend them, because they are amazing and they add so much to your tarot reading or your insight that you're looking for, that just that extra magic. And you've got the guidebooks and everything with them. And like I said too, if you want any of these decks and for a message in your own reading or that I can do for you, then comment on this video, message me on either the socials, or book one directly on my website, and we'll communicate that way. And that way you can get the reading that you exactly want. As always, I want to thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one.